What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Subscriber died trying. You see the thumbnail. The death of American brands. Sometimes, first and foremost, the reason I be looking out for this ring light hurts your eyes. So, um, I was talking to my lady about this. I'm 41, and I'm thinking about from my childhood to where I'm at as an adult, how many American brands died off or are dying off now. And this is what I mean. When I was a kid, fast food was big. McDonald's isn't the same anymore. Burger King, Wendy's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Popeyes, Subway, um, Pizza Hut, Domino's. All American brands, like, in a sense, have been declining. You know, you got the rise of other things, Chick-fil-A, Whataburger, In-N-Out, Five Guys, things like that. So certain American brands have died off over the years. Um, Businesses. Not too long ago, you remember how Best Buy was really popping. Circuit City. Um, when people had Fry's Electronics. Cons. Um, Radio Shack. It's not really as, lucrative as it once was. Brands are dying out. You know, I thought about things like certain clothing. Levi's used to be big. Jordache. People forget about Jordache. Wranglers. They're still in existence, but they're not necessarily an American brand anymore. Like something is coming to replace it, right? People talk about when Converse was popping. Nike is booming, but people forget that Reebok is in decline. You know, it's not a, it's like it's an American brand, but it's American. It's like it seems to be on its way out. When people look at Pontiac has been Plymouth pretty much gone in our lifetime. What else was there? Buick. Now, Lincoln was teetering. I don't know where it's at now, but it was teetering. You know, remember the Chevy's been a heavy brand. You know, Chrysler. If it wasn't for the Chrysler 300, you know, American brands have been dying off. I think about this because during the pandemic, certain businesses, predominantly small businesses, went out of business. And I was driving on the freeway today, and we were having a conversation, and I was like, look at all of these buildings and hotels and these um, car lots. And the car lots are full. The hotels, you're wondering who's in them for the most part, because it's like, who's really there at this particular point? So where is all this money coming from and where is it going? And it's like, this is part of the death of American brands because people have a certain nostalgia about certain things. I live in Houston. Astroworld went defunct since I've been here. That was like a city brand. I remember in New Orleans there was Jazzland. That didn't last very long. You know, that land is still growing and rotting. The sign was still there years ago when I was there. But the reason why I'm saying is Six Flags in itself is a brand, and people think about Universal Studios, Disneyland, Disney World is still, but it's really Universal Studios. And Six Flags seems to be like, and it's part of competition and competing and growing and evolving. But I thought about it in the sense of America. When people think about what America was, when the brands died, what America was died too. Dies with it, rather. People love Anheuser-Busch. It's beer, folks. Budweiser. But I'm not really a beer drinker, but I see people buying Bud Light, but not Budweiser. You know what I mean? Bud Light is like everywhere, but not Budweiser. So it's like that brand of Anheuser-Busch is still there, but it's really been eclipsed by Bud Light. And then you have certain people who are trying to revamp and rename themselves. Like when you get on, you remember the WB, that's Warner Brothers, Fox, they rename things. Remember people had Lionsgate and Paramount, and now these things are parent companies of things sometimes, where it's in existence, but it's not that. Um, and the reason I'm bringing that up is the television aspect. They were American brands. And what I mean by that is now you got Netflix, now you got Hulu, now you got Sling. Cable is really going out the window. So now you got CBS having their own subscription and stuff like that. So, TV has kind of shifted. So the ABC, the NBC, the CBS, that brand is dying off because there was television programming for you at a specific time, and now you're getting pretty much everything on demand, and you're paying for things on demand. So that old genre of television has died into something that's new, has been born out of it. A lot of y'all don't know what AOL is. It's an old brand, right? People still use Yahoo, but Google, Bing, those are, Google predominantly has become an American brand. I think about that when I think about insurance. You got the Allstate, you got the State Farm, and they have the commercials and stuff. But you increasingly see people going to different types of car insurance because they're tired of getting gouged by these companies. So you starting to see smaller and smaller things. Sometimes are subsidiaries of companies. Like Esurance is a subsidiary of like Allstate or State Farm, something like that. But it's chipping away at American brands. And the reason I'm talking about this is because what winds up happening is without American brands, sometimes America doesn't have an identity, and if you don't have an identity, when your brands change, your identity changes with it, is what I'm trying to say. And I can kind of, the bald eagle is like the brand of America, but Mount Rushmore used to be a brand of America. The Statue of Liberty is a brand of America. But something has changed. It's not necessarily the brand anymore. The White House is the brand of America. Washington Monument, and all those things. Now you got to think about what's the brand of America now. Because it has changed. And what I mean by that is the brand of America is capitalism, right? It's money. But it's a country going broke. So the American brand is dying because it's going broke. And sometimes people are falling back on patriotism. Christianity used to be a religion, used to be a brand of America. It was bipolar, but it was. Now it's not. We're not necessarily a Christian nation because the brand of Christianity and the religion, all of these brands are slowly going into becoming dinosaurs. Kind of like music. The music business was an American brand. Motown, Universal, ABC Records, right? Epic is still in existence. I think Universal is still in existence. Def Jam, all these things are big brands. But what winds up happening is you have Def Jam itself is like an independent that blew up. But what you have is all of these independent labels that wind up becoming bigger than the label itself. So now you have a bunch of artists creating something new, and Napster, SoundCloud, to SoundCloud and all the other stuff, iTunes and everything else, where there isn't a brand of music anymore. It's not like if this label comes out, it's this. That's done. That's done. So the death of the American brand just comes along with a lot of different things. And to me, can we handle the evolution? Bitcoin has become a brand. You get what I'm saying? Netflix is a brand. Nike was a brand, but truthfully, Jordan is actually the brand now. You know what I mean? So things evolve. Apple became a brand. Like, I was laughing with my lady. I was like, what about, you see, people don't remember 20 years ago, Old Spice was like, people drink Old Spice. Dove used to be a brand. Caress used to be a brand. That's things have changed. So, get ready for, if you can't accept the America that has changed, then you're gonna die with the brands that are dying, because more of these brands are gonna die in 10 years. A lot of the ones that I'm bringing up, they're not gonna be around like that. Not like they're not gonna have the foothold that they once did in this country. I would even assume Coca-Cola might go out too. It sounds crazy, but as you get older, you can't drink Coke. Like doctors, it goes along with that. So, what are the young people drinking? We will see. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch you on the next one. Peace.